right, so this weekend's destination Verbier for the Verbier St Bernard by UTMB. It's going to be around 75 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken, and around 5,000 meters of elevation gain. So the final stop before UTMB. So the pressure's on. I think in this race the objective is really to finish, just to take it easy, dial in all my gear, my nutrition, hydration, pace especially, that I'm going to have to work on for sure. That's something I haven't really been good at. Definitely not injure myself. I'm going to be testing a few different strappings for my knees. I know now I have to strengthen them a lot more. So that's something I've started, and I'll be continuing in between now and UTMB. I'm going to really have to figure out a way in this race to manage my IT band, which has been creating problems actually for me in the last two races. Actually, I'm quite worried with that. It's usually wakes up at around kilometer 20, 25, something like that. I'm going to test a few things basically and see what works. And I want to finish this race in a good state because obviously that this race is only half of UTMB. It's a lot of stuff to be thinking about, but hopefully it'll be fun and it'll prepare me well enough for UTMB.
The Verbier St Bernard event is Switzerland's oldest ultra, which started back in 2009. The X-Alpine, the longest route, which is 140 kilometers long, offers a loop from the resort of Verbier to the Grand St Bernard Pass, crossing the Bagne, Entremont and Ferré valleys. The X-Traversée, that I will do, is the 76 kilometers route from La Foulie to Verbier. There is also a marathon distance and the Explore, which is a 26 kilometer race. For this one, I'm on my own. My family couldn't join me, but I have two buddies who will be doing the race with me, Arnaud and Alex. Arnaud has been on the trails for several years and set his sights on the X-Traversée as his goal race. I think we were the first to click on the registration button when the registration window opened. Alex is using this race as a preparation race for CCC. He will be in Chamonix with me in a little less than 2 months for his first 100k. Alex also ran with me at the Trail Blanc in Les Diablerets. I'm now in Chables, which is just below Verbier, where we get the race briefing, the bib, and I catch up with Arnaud.
Prêt pour cette course? Prêt pour la course, regarde, j'ai récupéré mon dossard. Qu'est-ce qu'il est beau, hein, magnifique.
Okay, so we now have the bib. I caught up with Arnaud, who's also doing the race with me. Be heading to Verbier, to the Airbnb, where I'm going to have some good pasta and have a good night's rest.
The day before a race is always a mix of emotions for me. There's anxiety knowing the difficulty of the challenge, excitement to experience the adventure, and gratefulness for being able to do these races in incredible settings.
We're all set up for the night now. We've organized the bag, had a good bowl of pasta, not too much, just enough not to be hungry, but light enough to have a good night's sleep.
I'll now share with you the details of the gear I'm using. For distances near and above 100k, it's key. For this race, I'm gearing up with the equipment I'll be using for UTMB. We're so close to that goal race that I cannot do dramatic changes to my strategy. This is all about fine-tuning what worked in the previous preparation races, hence the importance of doing them. What worked? Nutrition with my 3 brands and rotating them throughout the race to avoid getting sick of one taste. I'm using the Knack bars and waffles, the Bao purees and dried fruit, as well as some Cliff bars. I don't use any gels, which give me bad stomach pains. Using the aid stations for the salty food, especially cheese, bread, sausage, soup and pasta. To plan the nutrition, I use a simple Excel with the total calories of my supplies. I look at the total estimated time I think I can do and reverse engineer the mix of supplies I'll take, taking into consideration the estimated calories I will intake at the aid stations. For hydration, I switch from pure water in both flasks to a mix of 500 ml of water in one with a filter to collect water along the course, and will be testing the Morton drink mix in the other. Having this drink mix will fuel me in calories continuously. I will complement this with Coke from the aid stations using my small plastic cup, which I have 2 just in case I lose one. What also worked is using Garmin's Pace Pro plans, which enabled me to set total target time, which I derive from my historical average pace per kilometer in other races. It gives me an indication of how far ahead or behind I am. This will be critical for UTMB, so I extensively used it during the past races, and in this longer race it will be critical. I also use alarms in my watch, every 45 minutes to remind me to eat. This has been very good to ensure I consume more than I need and not hit a wall. So far it's worked. What has not worked so well is chafing in extreme humidity despite my Great Path Project baseliners. But in such conditions, nothing would prevent this. There's little one can do when we get drenched, but at least it gave me early warning of areas that could be affected and therefore need specific bandaging. Path Project shorts have been my absolute go-to item for all my ultras for the past 2 years. Great fit and durable with loads of pockets behind and on the sides. What's not worked is my knee. The issue I experienced in the last races were due to IT band issues. I had not strengthened the hips and glutes enough, so since the Zermatt race a week ago, I've done lots of stretching and a lot of strengthening. I have clearly not had enough time since Zermatt to really sort this out, but it will be key to continue until UTMB in a couple of months. I also therefore bought a specific strap to squeeze the tendon that links the iliotibial band near the knee, so that when it does swell, which I'm sure it will, the band should compress it. On the other hand, the rest of the knee has done well in the races, thanks to the kinesiological tape I applied to them and will be using again this time. One additional key element to the gear is getting custom soles for the shoes. I went to a specialist who measured my posture and weight distribution to then design soles that will balance it to avoid any specific pressure areas which could contribute to pain on very long distances. For the shoes I remain with the Hoka Speedgoat, but hesitate between the 4 and the 5. For this race I'll go with the Speedgoat 4, but I'll decide last minute which ones to use for UTMB. I use the Speedgoat 5 consistently in training, but since I started with the knee issues, I tried to change the shoes to see if it had any improvements, but I doubt that it's a contributing factor. Given the length of this race, I'll be taking 2 Phoenix HM65 RT headlamps, my Lecky poles, the Salomon Bonatti, Path Project shorts, a Salomon Sahara cap, as it's going to be very hot and exposed in the afternoon, Salomon waterproof gloves for the morning high altitude climbs, a buff that I will wear on the wrist to wipe my sweat, sunglasses, a first aid kit, 2 Salomon flasks, self-adhesive bandages, my Salomon race flag bag, and a waterproof bag to keep my additional layers dry.
Here we go, we're in Verbier on our way to the bus that is going to take us to La Foulie, the start. Rainy start to the day, but later on it should get better. So just profiting from some freshness at the moment, because later it's definitely going to be much warmer. It's windy and it's raining, and it's actually pretty fresh. Big contrast with what we're probably going to have later on. It's going to be super hot. So yeah, it's going to be a hell of an adventure this. So here I am with my buddy Arnaud, who's doing the race with me. So Arnaud, how are you feeling today?
Feeling great.
Yeah, did you sleep well?
Didn't sleep very well.
You didn't get many hours sleep.
It was a little bit late, to be honest, but I feel quite excited. It's the second time I'm doing this race. I first tried the X-Alpine, but that's
a long one,
DNF. So this one I really want to finish it. It's really my target for this year.
What's your goal for today? Is there any time?
Finish before midnight.
Before midnight, okay.
That's the goal.
So we got the same goal then. That's exactly the same as me. Before midnight. So your girlfriend can give us the medal.
Exactly.
The start is always a solemn moment for me. It's a noisy place, but an inspiring one. It encapsulates all the hopes and aspirations that built up to this moment, after the mountain of training that was done.
And the first wave has now set off, so it's going to be our turn in a minute.
The excitement mixes with the fear of taking on these impressive summits. Everyone is in their bubble. We wonder whether we will be up to the challenge. We wonder what unexpected challenges we will face, but we also look forward to this incredible journey that awaits and the fight against ourselves. I'm here with Thomas, here on the X-TRAVERSEE. He's a good follower of the films. He's been in the films actually, so sorry I didn't recognize you then. But
next time, no problem.
And this time.
This time.
So good luck with the race, man.
Thomas is also taking part in UTMB and using this race as preparation. It is known for being grueling, technical and vertical, with the biggest challenge awaiting to crush the runners at kilometer 65. It's known as the Wall, a 1,200 meter vertical climb to finish off anyone who's able to reach that point. This race is going to be extremely tough. What has been your biggest challenge yet? Drop a line in the comments. I'd love to see what other challenges I could take on, if I can get through this one. At the start of the race, I tried to catch up with Alex, who arrived a little after us in the starting blocks, but missed him by a few minutes. At this point, he's a few minutes behind Arnaud and I, who are currently running together. As I'm slower on the downhills, I decide to ramp up the pace a little at this stage, but remain slower than what I know I could do at this stage. I remember that one of my objectives is to manage the pace. I need to find the right speed for UTMB.
Une pause forcée là.
Ouais, on va se marcher sur les pieds, de un peu là. C'est pas grave.
Ça va être une longue journée.
Ouais, une belle journée.
Une belle longue journée.
As experienced in the Lavaredo race by UTMB, there are many people in these races. It's extraordinary how many people have taken up ultra running, and UTMB have definitely made the best of it. People either love it or hate it. Personally, I'm a big fan. Despite the congestions, the entire organization makes up for it. You really feel you're part of something big, and being able to share it with so many people is fun. It polarizes our running community, but in the end, there's no right or wrong camp to be in. There's an offer for everyone. Some might say that these big events are killing smaller ones. There's probably some truth in there, as these big events are filling up the calendar and have enough financial firepower to market themselves well and set up much better infrastructure. Some might say that the purists can always go about these runs on their own if it's the solitude that they're looking for. Personally, I love the excitement these big races generate.
Bonjour. Merci. Alright, so we've already done 8 kilometers, but we've climbed 900. It's pretty fresh up here. 2,500 meters. 1 hour and a half into the race.
We're now passing the Col Fenêtre at kilometer 10 and already climbed 1,100 meters. It's early in the race, so I'm still feeling strong, focusing on my pace, nutrition and my heart rate, which I have managed to keep below 140 so far. We have a short downhill before reaching the Grand St Bernard Pass, which is well known for its dogs. The hospice on the Grand St Bernard Pass is a shelter built in the Middle Ages by the Augustine monks, whose hospitality is legendary. The St Bernard dogs were bred here by the monks, firstly to carry loads and subsequently to find victims of avalanches. According to the legend, Barry, the most famous of them all, saved the life of more than 40 people. The Grand St Bernard is the location of the first aid station. I stick to my plan, fill up my bottles with water, have Coke and eat some salty food. I'm keeping the Morton mix for later in the race. At this point I'm in the top half of the pack in 577th position out of 1,249 runners. Pretty much on target with my pace pro time to reach the finish before midnight as agreed with Arnaud, who is 4 minutes behind me. Alex is around 40 minutes behind, reaching Col Fenêtre. The first cutoff is in Bourg-Saint-Pierre at 10 past 4 p.m. At this point we all have considerable buffers as it's only 10:15 a.m. and we should reach Bourg-Saint-Pierre in a couple of hours after a short uphill and then a very long downhill which will test my knees.
Alors là c'est chaud là. Ah ouais. Pas se louper. Faut pas se louper là.
This is a delicate section to say the least. Both the runner in front of me and myself are not at all confident on this very narrow and vertical trail. I suffer from vertigo, so this is clearly not my cup of tea. Add to this that I'm not good at downhills and my IT band issues, this is a recipe for disaster, and so I focus as best I can to limit the damage. This downhill is a long series of switchbacks on technical terrain in some sections. Not easy, but the views are majestic, truly epic landscape that I'm so grateful to be able to play in. As usual, I'm slow on downhills, and Arnaud catches up with me, passing me in the process. He is not the last one who will pass me on my way down to Bourg-Saint-Pierre. My knee is now starting to hurt. The IT band is waking up. This is way too early in the race. There's no way I'll be able to finish the race if the knee gets any worse.
Kilometer 21, 22, 1,600 meters climbed. I've had issues with the IT band, which is not good.
We're now approaching the Toul Dam and second aid station in Bourg-Saint-Pierre. It's nearing midday and starting to get hot. I'm planning to get my Salomon Sahara cap out at the aid station.
Merci. Ouais, tu m'as passé dans la descente, je t'ai dit.
Mais non!
Ouais, Gio!
Putain, j'étais persuadé que t'étais devant.
Ah ouais, j'étais devant jusqu'à la descente.
I catch up with Arnaud, who didn't realize that he had passed me on the downhill. On his side, Alex is on his way down from the Grand St Bernard pass. Bourg-Saint-Pierre is one of the more well-equipped aid stations, and so I stick to my plan of eating salty food. Bourg-Saint-Pierre has everything I need: pasta, cheese, salami and bread. The perfect menu to stock up in calories for the next section, which is not going to be easy in this heat.
Là, je vais faire le plein de calories là. How's it going, Arnaud? Good meal? Huh? Definitely. Alright, so at kilometer 29, climbed 1,800 meters. Feeling okay. My T-band is holding. Changed my hat. It's pretty hot. These are pretty awesome views. Wow, amazing.
Unbeknown to me at this stage, Arnaud is facing difficulties. His stomach is starting to play games on him, and the heat is not helping. He has now considerably reduced his speed and is falling back on this tough climb. On his side, Alex is getting closer to Bourg Saint-Pierre. As I continue this 1,000 meter long climb, I admire the incredible surroundings. This region is incredibly beautiful. This ore temporarily numbs the pain in my knee, which has somewhat stabilized. My pace pro is now telling me I'm slightly dropping off my target time. It's going to be tough to get to Verbier before midnight.
Really epic views here. Really magnificent. Incredible. Really worth the effort.
We're now all feeling the effort on this climb, and many take the opportunity to have a rest. Human psychology is quite interesting. It sometimes only takes one person to start the rest on the side of the trail for everyone else to allow themselves to do the same.
Alright, so thought I finished the climb, but no, there's still a whole list to do. That's tough. Magnificent, magnificent views. Makes it worth it.
After that difficult climb in the heat, we're nearing the Mille aid station at kilometer 39. We've climbed accumulated 2,750 meters so far.
Merci. Une belle balade.
My knee is still holding, which is starting to give me hope that I could just make it. I just need to avoid any injuries. This is my last preparation race before UTMB, so I can't take any risks.
Right, so in the checkpoint at Mille, running a little behind my schedule, targeting 15 hours I think in total. These aid stations are excellent. I think that's Verbier over there. Yeah, that's where we're going. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, you okay?
Yeah, okay.
Your hand?
Ah, thank you.
Wow, yeah, you don't want to fall down there, man.
No.
We sometimes forget the risks of trail running. Accidents can happen so easily and so fast, often when we least expect them. In the past couple of years, UTMB saw 2 people lose their lives. In 2021, a Czech runner suffered a fatal accident during the UTMB TDS race, and the following year a Brazilian lost his life during UTMB's PTL. These races are not without risks and we know it, but sometimes we are reminded that this could happen to any of us at any moment.
Vas-y, je te laisse passer, t'as l'air beaucoup plus rapide que moi là. Bon courage. Alright, so we're going to be arriving at the next aid station, kilometer 46, 3,000 meters elevation gain. This is when the race starts. The Pain Cave. Merci. Merci.
The suffering has begun. Despite my knee feeling better, I'm not feeling in my best. I was drinking the Morton drink mix, which gave me energy but hasn't helped my stomach. This might be a sign of things to come, so I stick to my plan of fueling on soup at aid stations, filling up my water but without the drink mix at this point, and this time I get Rivella, a Swiss fizzy apple juice that I like instead of Coke. We're at kilometer 46 and my pace has been good up to now, consistently gaining some positions and currently lying 490th out of the 1,249 starters. During these races, when we start entering the Pain Cave, we tend to forget to look up and admire our surroundings, the simple beauty of the place we're in. This has happened to me in so many events. I try to remind myself that this is why I'm here, for this beauty. The pain can either amplify our obliviousness to it or our awe. I force myself to extract myself of the physical effort and appreciate the art that Mother Nature is presenting to us.
It's getting really tough now. I think I've been going too fast again. Now we're all marching in silence, zombies, pure sufferance. This is what we came here for.
This climb is grueling and taking its toll on many of us, some taking a rest on the side of the trail. I don't want to stop until I reach the pass. This is usually what I do if I can, but it's tough. And again, in these situations, our mind starts playing games on us. The thought of giving up starts to creep in. As I make my way up this tough climb towards the pass, Arnaud is experiencing very bad stomach issues and he cannot eat anymore. He is running out of energy and slowing down big time as he approaches the Brunet aid station that I just went through. Alex on his side is on his way to Mille without any issues at this point. I finally reached the pass with an incredible view on the glacier that I was not expecting. Everyone is done at this point. I take the opportunity to have a rest as well. My knee is holding, but I feel it, and so I use the freezing spray I took with me to calm any inflammation. After a few minutes rest, it's time to head down onto the other side. If you follow my films, you'll have learned that downhills and heights are not my thing, and this downhill is vertical and difficult on my knee. I'm suffering, but unbeknown to me, Arnaud is having it even more difficult. He's taken a long stop at Brunet and is assessing the situation. Will he drop out? On my end, I'm having difficulties getting down this side of the mountain and prefer letting other runners by. It's a dangerous single track. This downhill took a big toll on me. It was tough, so I take a few minutes to rest and observe my next challenge, the suspension bridge. I was not expecting this one, but I was not expecting this incredible glacier either. What a sight! I reached the other side of the suspension bridge with relief.
That's where we came down from.
That was daunting, but beautiful. At that moment, I recall a quote: "The dragon you have to slay, the treasure that you desire, lies on the other side of that which you fear the most."
There we go, we've done the ravitaillement, the aid station. Now we're going to be heading back down. 11 kilometers downhill is going to kill me.
In the Brunet aid station, things are not going great for Arnaud. Unfortunately, he drops out due to his stomach issues, which prevent him from eating anything. Without any energy, continuing is not an option, especially with that big climb before the glacier. On his side, Alex is progressing well and will soon arrive at the Brunet aid station. On my end, I have to take on a very long downhill towards Lourtier, which lies at the foot of the wall, that massive final climb of the course, the one that is there to crush all the runners who survived the rest of the course. I'm still more or less on target to arrive by midnight, but I'm progressively dropping my pace and fear that the wall will set me back considerably. In addition, my strap is now slipping off and rubbing so much that I'm bleeding at the back of my leg. But that pain is better than the one from the IT band, which is so far holding steady. We head down the same section we went up to reach La Panossière aid station that I just went through. I didn't spend much time there. That climb was a very tough one, but the downhill is going to be a killer on my knee.
Vas-y.
During this long downhill, with many runners progressing at different speeds, I prefer letting the faster runners pass me, hoping that the slower ones will also let me pass as easily. This long downhill is now a series of switchbacks, sending me into a false rhythm and losing my concentration. That's when the accidents happen.
Allez, passez messieurs. J'ai failli me tuer. Je m'en remets d'abord. Des émotions. Idée. Bonjour. Allez-y. Bravo. Belle descente. Alright, kilometer 63, pretty much on my own now. This is tough stuff. Hope I'm arriving at the aid station soon. Merci.
I finally arrive in Lourtier. It's nearing 9 PM and I'm behind schedule now. My objective is slipping away and I'm toast. I cannot breeze past this aid station, especially with over 1,000 meters to climb. I need to regroup myself. I need to take the time to fuel up and mentally prepare myself for a tough climb in the night.
Je peux avoir du coca s'il vous plaît.
I'm feeling nauseous. I'm having troubles even drinking water. I can't get rid of the Morton drink mix taste from my bottles and it's making me sick. But I know I have to eat and drink or else I'll not finish the race.
Doing a long pause in Lourtier, having a hard time eating anything, even the bowl of rice. It's having a hard time going down. Now we have more than 1,000 meters to climb and another downhill, and I'm completely toast.
Whilst I'm piecing myself back together at the aid station, Alex is on his way to La Panossière aid station. He's doing a great job sticking in there slowly but surely. Unfortunately for Arnaud, he's already regaining Verbier. I could feel his disappointment from Lourtier. It was his gold race.
Alright, here we go. Ready for the climb. This is gonna be tough.
Oh, Raphael.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Callum.
Callum here.
Hey,
I don't know where he found the energy, man. He's like running up this hill. I'm like dying here and he's running up.
I'm gonna
Good
have
on you, man.
good to see you here.
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked that you got the motivation through the videos as well, which is cool.
Great, mate. Great stuff.
Ah, so cool,
Right, I'm
so
gonna
cool.
crack on.
Yeah, go ahead, man. All the best.
I spent nearly 40 minutes regrouping myself in Lourtier. A long stop that was necessary. But I'm now well behind schedule and I now have to face the infamous wall, a 1,000 meter plus climb after 70 kilometers of effort. This is going to test my determination to its core.
All right, so we started the climb. Not easy at all. Merci.
climb is grueling and I'm unable to sustain the effort without having to stop. My breathing is not quite right either. I put on too many layers too quickly. I'm hot and sweaty. Despite the cool night mountain air, the gentle breeze and the waves of freshness coming from a nearby river as it thunders down the massive mountain, I'm deep in the pain cave. On my way up this mountain, I team up with another runner, sticking with him to the top. He's pacing me. I regret having forgotten his name, but I thank him. He saved my day. On his side, Alex has passed Panossière and must have been treated to an incredible sunset from that high point.
Alright, so this was a never-ending climb. Couldn't even find the energy to film. Let alone comment on the climb. It's been deadly. Actually, I found out that I had a breathing issue, which was because of the GoPro mount. So I took it off, and now I feel better. So we're nearing the end. 71.5 kilometers, 5,000 meters of elevation gain, and it's 20 to midnight. So off you can see the lights in the distance, all the people climbing up.
I finally reached the last aid station in La Chaux after one of the most difficult climbs I have ever done. I'm over an hour behind schedule. I will not make the midnight target I had set myself. I spend around 15 minutes in the aid station, lying on one of the mattresses they had laid out there for us. Several people are being attended by the medical teams as I head out into the fresh night. As I start my descent, Alex is still in the race and on his way to Lourtier, where he only spends 17 minutes before taking on the same grueling climb in the night. I'm getting closer to Verbier, injury-free. Another milestone is reaching its end. UTMB is now around the corner. Today, I only did half the distance and elevation. I cannot believe that in a couple of months, I will be doing 170 kilometers and 10,000 meters of climbing.
Finally arriving in Verbier. This has clearly been the most difficult race I've ever done. It killed me. I am toast. This has been very, very difficult. Now we're approaching the finish line, I hope. I can't run anymore. Merci. Merci. Enfin. We've done near 80 kilometers with 5,100 meters D plus. Oh my goodness. Well, the good news is that my IT band is better for some reason. It was really bad at the beginning of the race at kilometer 12 to kilometer 30. I was really suffering on the downhills, and then for some reason it disappeared progressively and I could finish the race without any problems. But when I do these kind of races, I'm like, I am not ready for UTMB. This is gonna kill me. This killed me. That's tough, man. But it was beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful races I've done, for sure. Absolutely incredible.
As I head back to my Airbnb, Alex is still battling it out and reaches La Chaux aid station at 4:26 a.m. and bravely makes it to Verbier at 6 a.m. A true warrior who is now ready to take on UTMB's CCC during the same weekend I will be in Chamonix for UTMB.